Okay. Good morning, everyone. Uh, Let me see. This can we close? Okay. Let's see if everything is working. Just in case. It looks like it is. Let me see. Good morning. Good morning. Perfect. So I can close this. Okay. So today you have to do your phenomenal midterm exam. And what you have to do is very, very simple. That is this. If you notice into the video description, and now I will also paste it into the chat, there are two links to two Google Drive folders. Good morning. So the exam work like this. Look, you copy first link and I will paste it here into the chat just in case. In this folder, you find several pictures of furniture, very simple furniture objects. And I want to click it with you so that we can explore them. Also to see if everything works as it should be. Excellent. And you can find all these pictures. There are about 5 or 6 different objects. There is this stool here. You can see that there are also multiple pictures from different angles so that you can see all around your object. Okay? You can try to understand how the object works. And there are several. There is this Zahdi bookshelf, this elephant stool. There is this Karim Rashid stool. There is this Eames chair, this capsule chair, and this final stool. What you have to do is very simple. That is, you have to select two objects from this folder, just two of them, not them all. And you need to create 3D models of two of these objects, and then you must upload your finished midterm file in the second link that you find in the video description that I will paste it also into the chat. So if you click, so if you finish, when you are done, to upload your finished file, just follow this link that I will open also in order to see if it works. It looks like it works. Let me see if I just try to drag and drop a picture. Let's see if it works. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. The sharing works perfectly. So start now, because in these 2 hours, I mean, sorry, you will have, and I will write here. So the midterm will be basically like this. Starting from now, you have 24 hours to make your midterm. So let's write some simple rules. There are. Starting from now, you have 24 hours to complete your midterm. If you were in class, you had 2 hours. You have 24 hours to complete. But in these 2 hours, so I mean till 13 now in real time, I will be live. So if you have questions, even if I will simply sometimes turn off the webcam, but don't close the video because the chat will be live and you can live and you can ask me whatever you need about your midterm exam in live into the chat. Also, don't close the video while you're doing the midterm simply because at 12:30, and I will do later so that you won't get distracted immediately, but at 12:30 I will also give you final project instructions so that during the break you can start making sketches, researching elements, materials, and stuff like that. Last but not least, and this is something that I tell to all my classes, is this. You need, whenever you have doubts, to send me messages, emails. Let me read the chat also. Okay. And this is why. Simply because what I would like to do would be, if you send me emails, or even better, if you simply take short videos, filming your screen and talking in order to explain your question, like 10 to 10-second videos. I will upload them because I need to make some editing. I will upload them and you will see your questions solved. Okay? Is everything clear? Can you start your midterm? Let me see the chat. So remember, first link in the chat, this one, this is where midterm pictures are. Second link, why you said yes while I was writing. So second link instead is where you have to upload sending short videos by email, by Dropbox, WeTransfer. I'm so sorry if but can you hear me now? Can you hear me if I talk? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, Yamini asks instead, I have questions regarding headphone homework. Why don't you do it now? This question, this one. So, which is the question that you have? You're welcome. Which is the question that you have about the headphone homework? Tell me. Of course, the question can be how to do it, because that would be too generic. Uh-huh. So I'm waiting for the question. Can you please help with the headphone homework too? Yes, but what it means help? Make a question. Hmm. Okay, let's solve these two questions because one classmate said the cut feature works strangely. I don't know. In general, it shouldn't work strangely, but uh, let's see. Second question is, while making the band, how do we bend the part with edges? So, so this is interesting because first of all, look here. Ready? Steady. Go. In 1 second, I will do this. Poof! And you have the headphone. Fantastic, isn't it? Simply because in the previous class they asked me basically same exact thing. So 1 second, sorry. I'm back. I'm alive. Uh, so first of all, let me see if I got the question because the question about the band, let me know, is about this part here. Let's change the color. So you want to know how to make this part. Let me see the answer. And then when I try to use the cut feature on one part of the object, other parts get cut on its own. And when I try to extrude, but Yamini says no. So which is the band that we have to bend? And then let me read this. When I try to use the cut, one part get cuts on its own. Other parts intended. The part right above ear pads. So let me see. Let me see first pictures. Studio 1, homework 7. The part let's find so you mean here? Let me see. So I'm saying you mean this part here? This is for you question, because the one that is for cut is very simple to solve. I'm just trying to figure out which question is yes. Okay. That is perfect. Okay, so let's see this. And then another question says, when I try to use cut on other parts of the object, get cut. That is almost impossible, but let me see. See this. First of all, as you can see in my quick, super quick model that I've made in the previous class, I've left these flat. But even if we are not talking um, the headphone, let's see this. First of all, when you use cut, so you have an object, you apply edit poly, take care because when you right click, you have to be extremely careful because below cut, there is something that is called the quick slice that works like this. So, and then right click. So first of all, be sure that you are not using quick slice, or if you have selected by mistake, because that acts strangely and it cuts elements that you maybe didn't want to cut on purpose. Okay? But if you apply edit poly and you right click and you use correctly cut, then there is no way to make mistakes, because what you see into the viewport when you click, let's say from here to there to here, and then right click, and then maybe you can continue from here till here, and then right click. Then if you correctly use cut like these, there is no way to cut unwanted parts. Also, cut lines are not showing. This is, I'm so sorry, but because you are not correctly following my lessons, because I clearly says that when you want to use edit poly, you must first go to this part of your viewport where you see default, and you have to left click here, and you need to left click to enable edged faces. And I know that you haven't followed this step. Let me see. Because if you click edged faces, then you will see them. Let me see the answer now. I'm waiting. Did it work? Aha! Okay? In general, it's a lot better to always keep edged faces active right at the beginning of your file. So when you start using 3ds Max, boom, left click, select edged faces, and your life won't be the same again. Chat works really slow, then someone has say, and what should I do? I know that you haven't clicked it, but this is something that I've explained in both my edit poly videos, okay? So when you watch my videos, watch them and watch them and watch them. This is also the reason why I have decided to leave them into my channel so that you can watch them all over, all over, all over, and you can refresh your informations. And this was uh, about first problem, that is cut. Okay. Second question instead, your classmate asks how to bend that part above the above ear pads. My 3ds Max doesn't look like your display screen. What it means? I mean, how it looks, because what it means, it looks cooler, it looks less cool. What it means, it doesn't look. Oh my gosh, but I've explained it right now. If you are not able to see those lines, and this would again and again, click up here where in your viewport you see the option called default shading. Left click here and left click on edged faces, and then you will see white lines. And confirm it. Let me see. Anyway, let's fix second problem while your classmate is waiting. And how to your classmate said how to bend that part. You're welcome. So the thing is very simple. That is, in 3ds Max, in general, if you want, okay, so in 3ds Max, in general, if you want to make something curvy, you simply need to add more segments in general. So it is not simply auto bend, because one day we can see that there is something called bend modifier, but this is not the case. In our object, into our specific case, we have this part of the object that is sharp, and we have inner part instead, this one that is curvy. So what we need to understand is simply that when we need curves, we need to add segments. So technically, what we should do is something like this. We have our box. Then, with a bit of patience, we apply edit poly. And for example, top face is the one where I will make those triangular extra faces. So after applying edit poly, I right click, select cut, and I start cutting these faces. There is another one here and another one there. And then I right click twice. This is why, simply because now if I want, I can pull this vertex up, and I basically have made this face of my object. It is not exactly like this because in reality I have to move this piece a little bit here, I have to move this vertex a little bit there. Okay? But where is the problem? The problem is that without wanting, I have also moved this one. Okay. But the problem is that my object is sharp and flat on this face, while it should be round down here. Okay? And your classmate asks how to bend it. But honestly, there are two, even more in reality, but there are two main ways you can make this part round. Okay? So follow me because this would be insane. And in order to show you both ways, I will make a copy of this object, a copy, not an instance, so that you can see both ways. Okay? Ready for this? Way number one is you start with a lot of patience. You start by using connect. So you start by selecting these two lower edges. You click settings next to connect and you add, let's say, 5 new edges. Okay? Till here, nothing special, but then say this, and it will be fantastic. Once that you have created these edges, basically what happens, let me find my pen that is here. So what happens now is that you have all these new vertices. So one thing that you can do now will be this. You right click, you use cut, and you start by cutting from this vertex to this one, and then you also cut this and this and then this and that, and you repeat same process on the opposite side. So select, click and cut, cut and cut. Now if you want to make lower part curvy, you simply start by moving this edge up, this edge up, this edge up, these, and that. So in reality, we are not bending anything. We are simply modeling our object to have more edges in order to being able to deform it. Oops, forgot this one. And you can give whatever kind of curve that you need just by adding these extra segments. Okay? This is way number one. But there is also way number two. It will be this. You draw an editable spline that has to be closed, and you click yes. Then, before using extrude to turn that into a 3D object, wait before saying yes, because there is another method that will blow your mind. But look, you can select this vertex, this vertex. Right click and convert this to Bezier corner. This is why. Simply because in this way, I can make this part curvy like that. Okay, maybe a little less curvy. Then you use extrude. And you extrude it a lot. And you will finish by rotating this 90 degrees. You move this object so that it intersects our headphone piece, like that. And then you select the headphone, you go to Create, Compound, ProBoolean, Subtraction, boom. And you get same exact result just by following two completely different methods. Okay? Just to show that in 3ds Max, you don't have to focus on one specific tool to make your objects, but you need to understand that all tools that we've used from the beginning till today are all useful, and you can combine them together. Okay? Cool. Well, isn't it? Was astonishing finding two completely different ways to obtain same exact thing. Is it true? No, the color is something that we will see after the break when we will use materials. It is not something that you can do right now. It has so many informations that you have that you have to that you have to know. So forget about colors for now, because in reality they are not colors, but they are materials. Yes, second way, simpler, where we submit homework number 7 in the same exact folders where you were submitting all other homeworks. So, like, oops, I closed it. 1 second. I will reopen it. So, all of your homeworks must be all uploaded to uh, your class is 3ds Monday. Let me see. 3ds should be this one. Exactly. Okay. So use the folder where you have uploaded already all of your previous homeworks. Let's say inside you find a subfolder called HW7. That means homework 7. So just in case, I will link it again, but in general, just use same folder, and you are able or to rename your file. You can call it homework 6, homework 7, and so on, or just place it in this subfolder. Okay? Also, as I was saying, now you have to do your midterm because I will be live here till 1. I will just, I mean, close my webcam for now, but I will read the chat and then I will reopen it if you have questions. But also, you're welcome, but also don't close the video because in half an hour, so once that you have an idea of how your midterm is going, but in half an hour, I will explain what to do as final project. Okay? So don't close the video. I would just pause the webcam. Is it clear? Let me also. No, nothing. Okay. So see you when you have questions. Can you hear me now? No. What, by mistake I've clicked this? No, no. This is a disaster. Now you should hear me. Is it true? No. I mean, it was a beautiful speech and no one could hear me. No. This is dramatic. Can you hear me now? No. I'm so sorry. By mistake I clicked this little unuseful but without even viewing it. This is very annoying. So, do you want to hear me again speaking about those final projects, or they were clear enough, even speechless? Tell me. Yeah, so the thing is, first of all, quickly write if you are interior graphic industrial as fast as you can. In any case, look, really, you can do the lip reading. I'm so sorry. You should learn it. You should learn it. So I was saying this. First of all, interior, interior. Okay, interior. There should be someone graphic. In any case, look, interior project is this. First of all, if you go to my Google Drive folder, the regular one where you find all other homeworks, there is a folder called Final Project. And for you, you need to use the one that is called Interior Design Master Final PDF. There are also more detailed informations, but just to get an idea of, no, yes, here, of what you have to do, it will be this. Interior, you must select an architect or or a designer that you like, that you are inspired by. Okay, it doesn't have to be super famous, but someone that you can use as an inspiration. And you must create a project by remaining into a very small space. That would be, you must remain into the space that would be in floor plan. You can't go over than 8 meters by 8 meters. Inside, you can do whatever you want. And even into elevation, you can't exceed 8 meters. 8 meters of height. Okay? But again, inside these 8 meters, then the shape of your project can be whatever. It simply depends on the designer or the architect that you are using as inspiration. Function also. So if you have to design let's say a house, a shop, a museum, an office. So the space itself, it's something that changes simply according to, again, the architect or the designer that you choose. So if your inspiration is an architect that mainly does houses, you will make houses. If it makes mainly museums and stuff like this, or if the project that inspires you is a museum, you will make a small museum, so an exhibition place. And same if you select like a shop, a retail shop designer, then you will design a shop or an office according to which is your inspiration. Okay? Is that clear? I'm waiting for your feedback just to know if it was clear enough. Can it be an object? What do you mean by can it be an object? Your final project or your inspiration? Can it be an object? So it will, of course, you have to put stuff inside, but yes, of course, it has to. So for Scarlett, the answer is yes. There has to be stuff inside. That means, let's say you design a certain, you find inspiration like Franco Gehry, no? So, okay, so one by one. First of all, for the final project, can we pick a furniture piece or something? No, you can't if you are interior. No, 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 no. There has to be an architectural space. So you can't just design a table or a furniture. Absolutely not. Then the project must be complete and it has to be uh, a project that is an interior one. So you don't have to think about the exterior. You have, let's say, to do this. Just to make an example, you choose Franco Gehry as inspiration. So you start thinking first about the uh, shell of your architecture. Like you design something like this. This is Frank Gehry inspired house. It would be made in titanium. Okay, this would be glass. This would be a glass door. And this is the shape of the house. But I don't think anything about exterior. Exterior, no. But then what I will do is I will start thinking, okay, so in floor plan, my project looks like that. So inside there will be like a staircase to go upstairs. In here, there will be the toilet. Maybe in here, I designed the kitchen, living room. This is the entrance, and so on. And so I develop then the interior part. But for sure, these dimensions and this dimension will stay inside 8 meters, as well as height won't be higher than 8 meters. You have to design furniture, of course, because you must design the space according to that inspiration, but you can also use, and I will explain after the break how to use them, you can also use 3D blocks. So you have not to design the entire amount of furniture. Some of them can be also downloaded. And about materials, materials will be first class that we will do after the break. So what you have to do instead during the break is to start designing all these things. So you must find your inspiration. So you have to choose the architect or designer. You have to start making sketches. You can start using, let's say, AutoCAD to make floor plans. You can start modeling in 3ds Max the basic shape of the house, walls, doors, and so on and so on. Materials and furniture, you have to think and sketch them, but you can't model them already, or they are custom made furniture. You can with all tools that we have learned, but we have a lot of lessons to be made, and so we will learn materials after the break. And before I forget, last but not least, even during the break, what you should do is, if you have questions, send me mail and send me messages, or if you want, send me short videos about your questions. No, you have not to make sections. You have just to make, this is a 3ds Max project. So you have to develop the project in 3ds Max mainly. Use AutoCAD if you find easier to draw with precision, let's say your walls, your stuff, but you have not to make technical drawings. But you can mail me questions by mail, by sending me videos, messages, and so on and so on. So because even during the break, sometimes I will try to upload videos that are like Q&A, like question and answers, and I will upload them. Not live streaming, but upload them. Okay? So send me messages, 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 because the more questions I have, the more interesting and more useful these videos will be. Okay? So that I can now close this live stream, you have to finish, remember, before tomorrow, you have to finish your midterm exam. Okay? Perfect. So that for now, I will go to have lunch, and I hope you too, and then you can continue your midterm exam. Okay? Bye, everyone. It has been a pleasure. See you again. As I said, mail me, and sometimes you will see my upload on this channel. Bye. Ciao, ciao, everyone.